Hi everyone, this is Mahyuddin Ahmed from Singapore Maths Academy. Welcome to our third video of this mini series. I hope you're enjoying the videos so far. They are quite new to us, so we're hoping to improve as we go along. If you have any feedback for us, please do let us know. We would love to hear from you. So this is our third video. I'm going to jump onto the iPad now and see what we can do. So our third video is on rounding, and we're going to start off by rounding to the nearest 10, nearest 100, and also we might jump on to nearest 1000 if we have a chance to. So let's look at this board we've got in front of us. So on my app, I can see some numbers. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. So we can see numbers going up by 5. So if we have a number like, for example, let's have a number right in between 25 and 30. Let's say we've got a number here, and that's 30. Would that be right? Can that be 30? Oh, that can't be 30, right? Because we've got 30 here. So let me rub that out. But it's between 25 and 30. Which number is between 25 and 30? We can say maybe it's around 28. Yeah, 28. Okay, so we've got 28 here. And I'm asked, can we round 28 to the nearest 10? What do you think that means? It means which 10 is 28 nearest to? So if we think about our 10 times table, 10, 20, 30, 40, and going on to 50 and so forth, which 10 is 28 nearest to? We can see that 28 is between 20 and 30. So 28 is between two 10s, 20 and 30. And we need to work out which one is closest to. We can see from 20 to 28, that's a jump of 8. But from 28 to 30, I only need to add 2. And so from 28 to 30 is only 2. That must mean 30 is the nearest 10 for 28. And so 28 to the nearest 10 is actually 30. So we can write that down. 28 to the nearest 10 is 30. So let's have a go at that. Let's have another go to see how we can do this. So let's have another go with a different number now. Let's say we've got a large number. Let's say 224. 224, where's 224? 224 must be before 225. So let's say 224 is here. That's 224. I want to round 224 to the nearest 10. The question for you is, which two 10s is 224 nearest to? Can we see from our times table? Can we see from our number line? 224 is closest to 220 and 230. 224 is between 220 and 230. But which one is it closest to? From 220 to 224, we're only adding 4. But from 224 to 230, we're adding 6. And so to get to the nearest 10 for 224, it's only 4 steps to get to 220, right? And so 224 to the nearest 10 is 220. Now, there is something we can hopefully notice about this, that halfway between any 10s, any two 10s, is going to be 5 more than the lowest one and 5 less than the highest one, right? The largest value. So for example, let's get rid of all of this. Let's say, for example, we're going to look at a slightly large number. Let's talk about in the thousands. Okay, so I'm going to set this up so that we go into our thousands. And so we can see that with thousands, let's start off with 1000 here. And we can slide down to a number that's more suitable for us. So let's have a look. So we're going to start off with a number like 1095. That's a bit more awkward, right? 1095 is here. So 1095 is right in the middle of 1090 and 1100. That's our two nearest tens. So 1095 is between 1090 and 1000 and 1100. So we're trying to work out which one is the closest, but it's right in the middle. So what do we do? So one of the rules for rounding is if you're right in the middle of two numbers and we're rounding to the nearest 10, then we round up. So 1095 to the nearest 10 is 1100 to the nearest 10, right? So 1100 is rounding up. Whenever we are right in the middle, or for numbers like this, we're rounding to 10, we round up. So have a go at that. Your parents will give you some questions to try out, and you can have a go at rounding to the nearest 10. We're now going to look at rounding to the nearest 100. And so nearest 100 is similar to nearest 10, but obviously it's going to be in the hundreds. So instead of looking at where the nearest 10 is of a number, we're going to look at where the nearest 100 is. And similarly, we're going to have to look at where the number lies between which two hundreds, for example. And so let's jump onto the iPad and work out how we're going to do this. So we've got a number line here. And let's say we've got a number like 2,970. 2,970. And we're trying to round 2,970 to the nearest 100. Okay, how are we going to do that? How do we round to the nearest 100? What do we have to think about first? Let's think about which two hundreds 2,970 is closest to. Can we see that, class? Which two hundreds is 2,970 closest to? We can see 2,900 and 3,000. These are nearest hundreds, the next 100 and the previous 100 that 2,970 is closest to. So which one is it closest to altogether though, right? So we know that we need 30 more to make 3,000. And from 2,900 to 2,970, we're adding 70. So 2,970 is 70 away from 2,900 and only 30 away from 3,000. So 2,970 to the nearest 100, didn't we say? To the nearest 100 is equal to 3,000. 2,970 to the nearest 100 is 3,000. And so does that make sense, class? Can we see why that is? Because that's the nearest 100, right? Let's start again, a different question. Okay, we're going to use similar to the previous question. What happens if the number is right in the middle? Okay, so let's say 3,350. So we've got 3,350 here. 3,350. So the first thing is we have to think about 3,350. Which two hundreds does 3,350 lie between? 3,300 and 3,400. So 3,350 is right in the middle of 3,400 and 3,300. And we know that it's 50 away from 3,300 and 50 away from 3,400. So what do we do here when this happens, when it's right in the middle? So we talked about this last video, or in this video, in the last example, one of the last examples. And we said that whenever we are right in the middle, we have to round up. So in this case, we're going to round up to 3,400. So 3,350 to the nearest 100 is 3,400. That makes sense, class? I'm going to give you a chance now to have a go with your parents with some questions rounding to the nearest 100. And I will see you in our next video.